All right, everyone. Hi, morning. My name is Kuan Yen. You can call me Cheah if you wanted to. Thank you for joining our session today. So I think it has been honor for me to be here to design some card and to guide you all on how to make some card for the elderly nursing home. I think importantly is I think that there are some classes already conducted by Moses and Sichin and Karen, and it's very, very interesting. And what I'm doing right now is a very basic kind of thing. Okay, so I'm going to start off with showing some sample to you all. So basically, these are the two cards that I have designed, and I will guide you on how to do it. Basically, don't worry about it. It's all about creativity that you have. It's all about putting your heart into creating a card for the elderly and putting them in mind. For example, what I have over here, I'm using some cloth. Yeah, I'm using some cloth, I'm using some button. The reason behind is some cloth that you can feel it. That's very important for the elderly people's sensory, and the button as well. I'm playing with cloth because sometimes there are a story behind the cloth. For example, maybe this remind them of their wedding, for example, maybe this remind them of their first home curtains, and I'm playing with colors as well because the elderly have some, as they grow older, their eyesight is not so good. So I'm playing with colors over here. That's why there are some contrast colors. So, but again, no right or wrong. It's all really depending on your own creativities. As you know that as we grow older, our sensory start to lose. We lost our sensory. Our eyesight getting bad. Our mind may not be that active. That's why I'm creating this kind of card is to bring back some reminiscence. For them to remember back some of the old days that they have, that they're able to tell the story behind, be it with their friends or be it with their family members after they're receiving the card. Some sensory so that they can feel and touch. Actually, there are some touch feeling over here. For example, the roughness of the cloth itself, the textures, the colors. Yeah. And for example, I'm not sure whether some of you know on some of the old singer, for example, this is Zhao Xin. Sorry, I'm a Cantonese, so I have to say in all Cantonese Zhao Xin. I think in Chinese it's Zhao Xian. All right. So I have with me some cloth also playing with colors and Zhao Xian, because by then when they look at this card itself, they'll be able to say that, hey, I know this singer, and maybe from there they start to sing some of their old song. Okay. So without further ado, I'm going to start off with some of the card making right now. Matter of fact, this card is not complete yet. I wanted to add in some button over here or even some design as well, but we can do it later on. Okay, like for example, this card itself, so you can write here uncle and auntie beside here, So very simple, don't worry. You can actually get the material itself from the magazine if you wanted to. For me, I just Google out the photo and I just print it out, it be on the colors of black and white. As a matter of fact, this is actually one of the old chicken store itself, So I got Chao Shen over here and I got a picture of the old chicken store. So maybe from there they will start to remember certain thing in life and share out, maybe to their friends, family member, to their grandkids, like, hey, these are a very old time kind of thing, that how they sell chicken rice and so forth. Okay, without further ado, I'm going to put this aside and I'm going to start off with one other project. So as usual, I already prepared some of the material ready because I do not want to waste time over here. I have two cloth that I had cut off. One of it, both is actually very particular design. So I hope that from this cloth itself, there are some story that they're able to share. They can feel the texture itself. They can remember certain things in life previously. For example, this button itself reminds me so much of my mother because she would like to wear the sarong when she is at home, when she was at home. And this is a bit modern kind of, I wouldn't say modern, but very culture in terms of people from Sabah Sarawak may know certain elements, or even certain group may know some certain elements over here also. Okay, it's very simple. So basically, you just prepare the cloth. Make sure the cloth is clean, because the elderly home, that they may be a bit prone to virus and they're a bit sensitive. I'm very lucky because I'm able to get some sample of cloth from a tailor. Okay, so if you happen to know a tailor or whatsoever, or visit a tailor, well, maybe you can ask them for some piece and pieces over here. or even get, if they want to sell to you also can, but I believe it's a very low cost. Make sure it's clean, make sure it's being washed also, and a bit of fabric design over here. You can feel the textures and you can see the flowers, so it's very beautiful. So I hope that this will remind the old people about certain things that they have experienced in life. Well, you can see, all these are sample. You can get from the tailor if they happen to have it. Some tailor or some fabric shop, they have a lot of samples that they wanted to clear. So, okay, I'm going to start off by making this. So it's very simple, basically. This is basically a paper that I have cut into the boxes. So be careful when you cut the frame, because what I'm trying to create is a frame kind of thing, so that it look more nicer and more systematic in certain way. All right, so this is a behind base. With me, I have some the glue, okay, the strong glue. So you can put some over here. So you can see that how long I've not been using this, right? Really harden up. So just make sure you glue it, cover all the location over here. Okay. And make sure that everything is well glued. Okay. You may need to dry out after that, or under the sun, or to air it, because the glue itself, the smell may be a bit toxic to the elderly. All right. Make sure that you put it correctly. For example, this has to be behind. This is front. This is behind. All right. So now the challenge is ready, because the wind is blowing a bit. Just make sure that it is in the box that I wanted to. Don't worry if it's a bit of a sagging or not in line. Importantly is to cover the hole over here. Right. Once you're done, remember that this is a frame, so you may need to put a bit more over here. It may be a bit messy, but it's okay, because we can do the touch up later on. Importantly is to put your heart and soul in designing the card for the elderly, because I think at the end of the day, we just hope that they are happy, that after they have been contributing to our country when they're young, then we are not, we won't be here today to enjoy the facilities that we have. All right, so, okay, now, I hope that you can see it. And make sure that you put a bit out, centralize it, and just tap hard. And that's it, one of the artwork. I hope you like it. Basically, again, it's like the touch and feel, and hopefully the cloth itself can tell some story, can remind them about some story, and from that they're able to share some story. And from here, if you wanted to, you can decorate the card itself by putting some buttons, some of the feel that they are able to, something that they can able to feel. Okay. And please do not use sand or bitter glue, because it's tend to be out, and after that it may be cause some discomfort to the elderly itself, and you can start to write or even decorate it. All right, this will be one of it, the first one. Okay, this is actually very similar to the one that I have created earlier on. Okay, maybe I wanted to continue on with this to complete this artwork itself. I bought some button itself, what you can see over here. It's cost only 60 cents from the fair, something like fair price. Not NTC fair price. I think it's something like fair price or something like that. It's actually those shop that's selling a lot of things. All right, so okay, playing with colors. I have I actually have a very limited colors, so I haven't used green yet. So maybe green will be a good choice over here. Oh, do not really have enough green. Then I might put a blue one so that the color may be contrast off over here a bit. Okay, and a bit over here. Maybe I just put two buttons over here also. Hope you can see it here. This is one. And I'm use the pink there because it will bring up some tone. All right, so with that, complete this. And actually to add on, right, if you still have more cloth, right, you can actually, use a Scotch tape over here and put it here. So actually the cloth is from this kind of materials that I've gotten actually. And I feel that it's very beautiful. Maybe I used to stay in a kampong before. So to me, all this texture remind me itself about my childhood, about how we use this kind of cloth to make the curtains, to make. If you can see that my table also have some of the elements over here because it's, I'm very closely related to it. So there are storytelling even for me as well. What more to the elderly people, right? So okay, so this one of the artwork that two other artwork that have been created also. I hope you all enjoy it. All right, moving along. Let me see. Just now we have created something using the yesteryear's singers or idols. So why don't I start one so that you all have a feel on how does it look like in the process of making it. So again, I have prepared some of the paint just for time saving. I have some cloth over here which I have cut out. A picture again, picture of yesteryear's singer. This again is a Zhao Xian, if I'm not mistaken, and the husband. I don't know. From here, I hope that this photo reminds them of their loved one, maybe their parents, or maybe their own marriage itself. You know, it's so yesteryears. It's so beautiful. Matter of fact, when I look at the photo itself, it remind me of so much of my parents itself. You know, it looks so so beautiful and happy during that time. That gorgeous. All right. Again, without much ado, with all the cloth over here, arrange it to the design that you wanted it to be. So, for example, maybe I want it to be something like that. All right. It doesn't matter how you arrange it. Importantly is just based on your gut feel. I prefer this way actually. What do you think? Well, no right or wrong answer. I prefer this way. Doesn't mean that you like it this way also. It doesn't matter. You do not have the strong glue at home. It's okay. You can use the double-sided tape if you want to. So I'm going to use a double-sided tape in here. And a bit of, let me see the design. Okay, this is okay. So I'm going to glue it here. Okay, the reason why I look at the lining, actually I'm looking at the lining because here it's a bit sagging, so not so nice. So I'm going to hide that away. Okay, take out the Scotch tape. It may be a bit sticky, especially when our sensory couldn't really have a good feel of it. All right, first put one here. All right, remember just now we did not glue. Oh, all right, actually it's quite strong already, secure. Let's see, we can use it this way, that's for sure, because of this. Yeah, maybe something like this then. Something that is different. If you want to do, you can do it this way also. All right, so it's really up to your own design. Once you think that that will be the design that you want, again, just put the Scotch tape, make sure that it's being well secure. Just try it off. Again, you may not, well, it's not necessary you use a cloth over here. If you think that you have some colorful pictures that you can find from the magazine, if it's possible with some texture. You know, some paper does have some texture, right? You can actually carry out and paste it accordingly to what I'm doing right now. And maybe those pictures have some story behind it that the elderly can easily relate it. That would be even better, because what we wanted to do is whenever the elderly look at the picture, right, they're able to share, or they're able to tell the meaning behind the picture itself. So not necessary to use a cloth. Yeah. So again, I wanted it to be this way. You can overlapping it, because that will create some pattern out of it. And as mentioned just now, I want it to be this way, right? So yeah, maybe a bit down, so you can see the lining and so forth also. Okay, I think I like it this way. So same thing, right? Okay. For example, it can be a picture of yesteryear. It can be a picture of, I don't know, a baby, you know, maybe a picture of fruit salad selling durian. Okay, because I think durian and fruits and food or lifestyle are easily related to certain things in life that the elderly will be able to see, and then it's like, I have seen this before, and from there, you know, it's activate their mind for them to share. All right. Sorry for the delay. Just bear with me for a while. That's one of the main reasons why I always prepare my work, the material in advance, so that I couldn't waste much of the time. Right. So with that, we'll put it here. And ta-da! Here's only just the front page holding, okay, with the cloth. I know that y'all can't really feel, but I can feel right now the textures, you know, and hopefully from them they're able to share something. Okay, I'm not actually done yet, because I remember the photo that I shared with you just now. Okay, with me I have something that is lazy kind of thing that I have cut from some of the materials that I received from the tailor itself. So same thing, you know, I think this is good enough for me. You know, a simple one. That's why you know, I like to use black color cards, because there is a background, because I'm using some color over here. So the black color card is actually will be a good contrast or background over here. And because I'm using black and white photos, and that's why I'm using some lace over here, beautiful lace. And I'm gonna start off with it. Okay, so again, use double-sided tape. You can use the strong glue if you wanted to, but it may be a bit messy. So using the double-sided tape will be less messy. But don't worry, whatever materials that work well for you all, please use it. Importantly is, well, I think I mentioned a lot of time during my previous class, which I'm going to mention here again. Doing art doesn't mean that you have to spend a lot. You can use the materials that you can find at home. Of course, at the moment, I really discourage everyone to go out and find the materials, especially during this COVID-19. About is safe, but try to minimize and try to keep the community and yourself and your family safe also. So here, and after that, you can put some glue to this picture. All right. Make sure again the glue is cover all the piece of paper, so that it will stick well. All right, here we go. one more of it. So I hope you enjoy this. You know, I love this very much because it tells a lot of story for me. And I hope that elderly people that receive it are happy with the artwork and remind them on certain things. All right, moving along. I also created one also earlier on with the again with the movie star. I'm not sure whether you all know who he is. Basically, is P.R.M. and Saloma, husband and wife. So again, for the fabric itself, that I received. Okay, cut out. There's some few over here. You know, they're using some golden, some silver and some silver colors over here to bring up the textures, which is very beautiful. Okay, and again, since I have more of this picture, it's okay. Please put more of this picture inside here. Because what I'm going to do is, yeah, I'm going to do something like that. Okay, so that it will add up some colors and elements, some colors and textures to the cut. Okay, the same process that we're going to do. So simple. With all this card, please do remember to send it out to Moses. If you have created more of this kind of card, I know that Moses site already filled up already on the target to give it to the elderly home. If you happen to know any of the elderly that stay at your resident area, well, you can always give it a card, isn't it? I think that they're more than happy to receive it from you because every card is unique to them. It's a heart that counts. It's a top that count. Right? So same thing over here. Okay. Over here, you may need to use a bit more. This side, because we can stick at the so you get this side, we'll stick at the fabric. So we know that fabric and paper doesn't really stick well, so you may need to use more. On this side, paper to paper, you don't really have to use a lot. It's here and here. And just make sure that it's being centralized a bit over here. And photo of Shiramni and his wife, beautiful wife, Saloma. That's what I cut. Okay, moving along. Sorry, I'll be a bit on a fast pace because we may be running out of time. Okay, with me, I have printed some photo, beautiful photo about yesteryear. Remember, I was mentioning about yesteryear's photo, like for example, the kids. You know, when I look at this remind me so much of the childhood, the dressing, the umbrella, the shoes. You know, when they're eating near the piers or the port, the old Singapore, when people are squatting down. You know, this is the pasar where the makan basket, you know, so old lady selling things. And one of the scenery in, I'm not so sure, maybe in Chinatown or whatever. Okay. Okay, let's work on this. This is even more simple. Once you have all this picture, which you can get from the magazine, or in this case, I actually print out from the internet, whichever that work well with you. Okay, we're gonna use some color paper. Okay, maybe a bit of blank if you wanted to. Okay, I squeeze a lot of glue here. The reason behind is I just going to tap on it and continue with the artwork. So you can use one here. Just paste whatever place that you wanted to. It doesn't matter. The reason behind you wanted to add some color element, some texture to the card so that it doesn't look so boring, and adding colors, especially because we are using black and white photos over here. Right. Whichever way that work well. I have some recycled paper that I use from the Anbao packet. Oops. Importantly is please make sure that whatever material that you use is clean. Okay, maybe, and then you arrange the picture accordingly to your liking. Oops. Actually blocked the purple one, but it doesn't matter. Okay, see how it's bring up some of the colors. Okay, arrange the picture accordingly. Yeah, I want this this look to be out because it's able to see the pot. Okay, that people are eating the pot. And if you think that too much is okay, maybe this will do that. You know, you don't really have to put all the picture that are required. So again, do the picture. So do the picture accordingly to the area that you have identified. All right. Synchronize that. All right. This is one away. And because we have some extra of the picture that I printed, not to waste it, you can always put it inside here. So again, if you wanted to add some texture to the card, you can do so. After I have cut some of the shape out, so don't waste it. Here. If you all have attended one of my card making using the abstract art, hope that you all can use this to practice it back. You know, it's a very abstract kind of feel. And then you put the photo that you have. Okay. Sometimes the more photo you put also, there will be some advantage because from that the elderly people will have more story to tell looking at the pictures. Right here then, since I have it. Yeah, you can use it here. Nice, isn't it? Sorry. A bit messy. But that's the fun part. You think that there are some thing that putting out just carry on. Yeah. So that's it. Another card have been created. Right. If you there is a bit down, you can actually add more color if you wanted to. In this case, then I think this is not for me. You know? So there are some color element. There are some pictures that the elderly can look at and tell the story. And when you open up, again, there are some pictures over here. Okay, it's 10:30. I still have a few more cards to prepare, but I think I'm going to skip this because I wouldn't wanted to take much of the time. Okay, my last card will be very simple. I've gotten some pom-pom from the Daiso, $2. So pom-pom, as you know, the pom-pom, they are some feel of the card itself, you know. You can actually do some of the pom-pom that have been guided by Sijin and Karen as well, if you wanted to. But for the benefit of time, I'm going to quickly finish off this artwork itself. You can actually draw a heart shape over here. Not sure whether you can see it with the reflection. Okay. And then use a pom-pom and just take the pom-pom over here. You can see. Use a pom-pom. And actually, there are a few more artwork I would like to get you, but looking at the time, I wouldn't wanted to take much of the time, especially on Sunday when everyone is resting at home. All right, so what I'm going to do is with the heart shape that I have drawn over here, just stick the pom-pom accordingly. This is the most simple artwork because just require you to just stick only on the shape that you have drawn. If you can play with the color, please do so, but because the color is very limited right now for this pom-pom. So there's nothing much, there's not much of colors that I'm able to play. I believe it still will be end up very beautiful. So play with the shape since you have a big and small and medium size. You can play with the shape also. Can be a bit messy. That's how you can see it. Oops. Yeah, it's a bit messy. Make sure that it's well secure. Because the last thing that you want is that old people, the elderly receive it and realize that, hey, everything has been fallen apart. Oh. Since you sound a bit over here. Please continue doing it until you have made the shape of the love. Then should tidy it up by closing whatever gap that you have over here. Press hard so that I stick to it. Use the hard color if you wanted to. Close the gap. Then look more neat. Use the small one. So you actually play with a bit of sizes over here. So that will be. Continue, can continue on with the gluing. I need more darker colors if possible. As we do this project also, it also improve our motor skill. So please do continue to do some activity at home because it does improve our motor skill and our memorize stand and activate our mind as well. So in case you have thinking of, hey, you know, what kind of activity should I do at home? Feel free to do some artwork. To bring some joy to yourself, some satisfaction. Importantly, also it brings joy to other people if you create this artwork for them. All right, it's almost done. Just continue finishing off. And then just close whatever gap that you have over here. Some final touch. Close the hole or the gap. Use a small one because you need to close those small gaps that you have. Press hard so that they are better secure. All right, with me, this is one love touch and feel. As mentioned to you, as mentioned before, it's very much about sensory because they have lost some touch sensory. So the whole project is for them to have a feel of the card, right? For them to remember certain things that they have gone through in life. They're able to tell the story behind it, to share. For example, when it comes to yesteryear's superstar or yesteryear actor or whatsoever, they're able to say, hey, I know this is Piramli and maybe he acted in, Labu Labi or other movies, you know, or I like the song that's sang by Piramli and Saloma, like the Taran Jiwa, then the photo of it, and from here, they also can feel the fabric. That's more sensory. So again, back to sensory also, and some of the active mind is like able to tell the story behind the cloth or the paper that you place over here. For example, the batik design, and then you know, from this photo, they're able to share their other life experiences in life. One more. And other things that we have here and here. If you have a yarn, which I don't think I have time for that artwork, if you have a yarn, please carve a shape of whatever shape that you want. For example, for me, it will be a triangle over here. Use the yarn to go through it. And with that, you will have the feel texture and can decorate using the button after that. So that will give them some feel of it, and maybe there are some storyline behind it. All right. With that, I will be ending my session today. I'd like to thank you for joining the session today also. I'm not so sure whether you can see me. Moses, I'm done already. So thank you so much for the invitation today. It's my honor to be here today also. Thank you very much. If you all have any questions pertaining to the artwork, please do let me know. Meanwhile, please stay safe, stay healthy, and till we meet again then online. All right. Thank you, everyone. Goodbye.